Welcome to Virtual Pathfinder YouTube channel. Today we're gonna look at a tripod I bought on Amazon. It is this Octopus GorillaPod style mini tripod, which looks much like the original Joby GorillaPod. The reason I bought this one is that the price was very low in comparison to the original. It only costs about $10 or 10 euros. And according to the customer reviews, many buyers seem to think this is a bargain, although not a top quality product. And I also read the most critical reviews, and they complained about the build quality. At this low price, I think the expectation is not higher than just to get the sufficient quality for whatever purpose it will be used. This tripod is very flexible and can be used to hold smartphones, cameras, LED lights, or a microphone either on a table or on the ground or wrapped around things. The flexibility was one of the reasons I was interested in it, since I already have all kinds of tripods, everything from quality full-size tripods to less flexible tabletop tripods. Here are the contents of this video. First, I'll give a description of the tripod, then I will test it with 3 different loads. A 144-gram smartphone, then a 565-gram camera, a 1-kilo camera. The test will first be with the tripod on a desk and then wrapped around an object. Let's get started. This tripod came with a holder for a typical smartphone, which can be attached to a quick release plate with a standard 1/4-inch screw. The quick release plate and its attachment are made of plastic, which seems to work well, but it's hard to tell if it will hold in the long run. The tripod with the smartphone holder weighs 185 grams, and without the holder it weighs just 147 grams. As I mentioned, the quick release plate has a 1/4-inch screw which fits the standard thread of a camera or the smartphone holder. To tighten the screw, one may need a Phillips screwdriver, which is not the most convenient solution, but it can be attached to some extent by hand as well. In any case, the quick release plate snaps firmly into place on top of the tripod. Once the camera or smartphone is attached, there is no tripod head to adjust it, but it is possible to adjust the direction by rotating the ball under the holder. Since the legs are totally flexible, it is also easy to point the camera in any direction by adjusting the legs in different ways. I like the fact that they didn't try to put a flexible tripod head on this one, since it would likely be the weakest part. I can say that from experience of an even cheaper tripod which I bought at an airport. That tripod had flexible legs and a small plastic ball head that would be locked with a screw. That screw broke the ball head within a week, and that was the end of that story. For cheap product, simplicity is just the best. I measured the length of the tripod to about 24 centimeters. First, let's have a look at what we can do with the tripod and the smartphone holder. Here I have attached my iPhone, which weighs about 144 grams. That weight is of course not a problem for this tripod, whether it is used on a table or wrapped around a tree branch. There are many ways to configure this tripod with legs in various angles, standing, lying, or wrapped around something. The quality of the smartphone holder seems to be very good. The quick release plate is made of plastic. Not really the high quality plastic, so time will tell how long it will last. Let's try the tripod with an interchangeable lens camera attached. This is a mirrorless micro four thirds camera, which is quite small and light, and it has a typical lens attached. The total weight is 565 grams. Let's see how well the tripod can hold this camera. From what I can tell, there is not much of a problem, even with the legs at a relatively large angle. The top ball also seemed to be able to hold the camera pointing in various directions. I haven't used Joby's GorillaPod, but I think that may have much more stiffness in the legs, which would make it more stable. The legs on this tripod are not very stiff, but for this weight it seems to work in most angles. also tested the tripod wrapped around the back of a chair to see if it could hold the camera, and it managed to hold the camera fairly well, despite this being a difficult surface to grip. The weight makes some angles risky, but for the most part it worked. Now let's try a bit heavier weight. This is the same camera with my heaviest lens attached. The total weight of this load is 955 grams, which is almost 1 kilo. This is a difficult load to carry since the lens weighs more than the camera and the center of mass is therefore in front of the camera. As expected, the tripod has difficulties to carry the weight when the angle between the legs is too large. However, with some effort, it is often possible to find other angles of the legs that can hold the weight and point in the desired direction. If the legs are spread out sitting on a table, it becomes very stable. But it is clearly fewer ways to use this tripod with a 1 kilo load compared to a half kilo load. Here is an even more difficult test with the tripod wrapped around the back of a chair. Although it could hold the weight in more ways than I expected, I didn't feel entirely safe except for a few configurations. As I said, this lens makes the camera very front heavy. I wouldn't say that wrapping the tripod around things is impossible with this 1 kilo load, but there are fewer positions that work out well. So here are my conclusions. First, the positive. The price is very attractive. It's about 1/3 of the price of the corresponding Joby GorillaPod. Then it is the size and weight, which is very light and compact, and it fits almost any bag without adding much weight. Then we have the flexibility of it. It is very good to use on tables, on the ground, or wrapped around things. It can be used to hold anything that has a 1/4-inch thread, such as cameras, smartphones, LED lights, or microphones for podcast, etc. Then we have the smartphone holder, which is very good. That part feels like a quality item. And then the quality of the tripod itself remains to be seen. The plastic quick release plate works really well, but it doesn't feel like a quality item. Then we have the negative. That is, the quick release plate needs a Phillips screwdriver to attach things. It is possible to do it by hand, but it's a bit difficult. Then we have the overall quality feel of the product, which is, it's not the highest quality, but at this price point that cannot be expected. Then finally we have the legs that are not very stiff, but it can hold a 565 gram camera fairly well, but the options become more limited with a 1 kilo load. When I bought it, there was no information about the maximum payload. I think the reason is that no one wants to make any promise about that. In any case, even with a 1 kilo load, it is still useful, although more limited. With a payload of 565 grams or less, it's very useful. In conclusion, this tripod works very well up to about 1 kilo payload. As I said, time will tell if the quality is sufficient. If it holds for a couple of years of usage, then the price of $10 or 10 euros is a bargain. And I would say that the price performance is really good. That was all. If you have any opinion about this tripod, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. There will be more equipment reviews soon. Until then, have a nice day.